I've had my fingers burnt before I joined Lasrira, but now I am the regulator, so I know who is who in the industry. We also have a yearly forum, the Lagos State Real Estate Conference, Marketplace and Exhibitions, where is a 2-day forum where we bring together all real estate stakeholders all over the country. Last year we had it in December, and we had different, the EFCC, all the regulatory bodies that are involved in the business of, regulations and real estate in Nigeria. We also brought the NAIVs, the LABCA, all government agencies as well, so that all of us can meet and deliberate, collaborate. We have issues. Mr. Governor was there. 90% of the ESCO were there. All the agencies in Lagos State that are involved in real estate practices were all there. LABCA had their own stand, fiscal planning, so if you had any issues, approvals and all that, you could have just gone. But when we make noise and we shout, nobody, you don't come. If you don't come, how do you network? How do you engage? How do you know what is going on? We have done our bit as government. We have, for instance, there were issues, or there are issues regarding the coastal road, some of which were, deliberated on at the marketplace. So if we don't engage, we won't know how to, move forward. Again, about 2 weeks ago, I engaged with MFK, and because we're bringing the whole world to Nigeria, it's the World Real Estate Congress, and I'm sure most people are just hearing about it for the first time today. It is being brought to Africa for the first time in 75 years. And guess where the destination is? Lagos, Nigeria. Wow. And I am practically begging MFK to beg you all to come. I'm not asking for money. Come and do business. We have the Saudis. The Saudis are the one funding it. To be honest with you, the Qatar Foundation are the one funding it. Saudi and Qatar. And they want to meet us. I don't know what is going on in Africa. Everybody suddenly wants to do business with Africa. And the Congress, the Africa bit, the Nigerian chapter of the World Real Estate Congress, fought tooth and nail to bring it to Nigeria. Guess what? If the Qataris are coming, who is the chief host for this event? Lagos is not the chief host. It is coming to Nigeria. So Ashiwaju, the president, is the chief host. Lagos, we are just co-host. So Ashiwaju is the one declaring the day open. And here we are, practically begging the movers and shakers of the real estate sector to come and network. Who knows, Who knows what may happen there? MMK has the registration. Please come. Let us even know what is going on outside of Nigeria, so that we can also, incorporate those practices back here. They are ready to meet. There's a networking session that there will be a designated room where there are about 60 countries coming, so where you can meet and network and so let's do better. This is our own way of, exposing the sector nationally, internationally. We have done our piece. After this session, there will be questions and answers. If there are other things you would rather we do differently, please don't hesitate to let us know. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I will pass to that, and I hope you all will be attending the event. So quickly, I'll go to Mr. Adeyemi. I would like to ask, How do you think the industry can be supported to meet the growing demand of housing and commercial properties in Lagos? We know the growing demand for both commercial properties and housing in Lagos. How can the industry support in helping us meet these demands?
Before I respond to that, I'd like to deal with what Madam said. She said, I don't know what is going on with Africa or Nigeria. To the younger population who feel like Africa is winding up, no, we're not winding up. Africa is the next paradigm shift in the whole world. The United States, so Africa is not winding up, Nigeria is not winding up.
The next paradigm shift.
Nigeria is not on
real estate.
On any platform to be sold. And the next paradigm shift. The United States of America will not be stupid to build their largest embassy in the whole world in Nigeria. There is something about this nation, and we are the next paradigm shift. I just want to emphasize that. Everybody is looking to come to Africa. But this is where the opportunity, problem when identified is opportunity is disguised. And there are so many problems we have in Africa, so that is a pointer that Africa is the next paradigm shift. So I see Africa taking the lead very soon, probably becoming the world power. Now, to answer your question, what I feel we can attempt to resolve the menace of housing deficits that is growing, particularly for the base of the pyramid, where we have the majority. You know, we have developers that focus on the base of the pyramid. I'm talking about the low-income earners, and we have some that focus on the middle. We have anything that exists like that in the Nigerian economy, and of course the APEX. Now, the base is over the majority, and these are the individuals that we afford the homes. One of the things we need to do differently as developers is to embrace alternative construction methodology, right? Using the building code that we adopted from British, which is obsolete, bricks and mortar, we need to consider other alternative construction methodology that is cheaper, faster, and is affordable, because the word affordability is relative. But beyond that, we also need to embrace local products. I mean, when you are putting up a building, faster and regular developer, that's where we need. About 80% components for construction are imported. And here we are dealing with, exchange rates, dealing with a whole lot of stuff. So it's time we consider our local content. I was in Naples a few weeks ago and I saw a building built 100% local content to address their increasing housing deficit. As long as our construction materials are imported, about 80% of them, we cannot address or arrest the menace of housing deficit. So we've got to look inward, start embracing local content, adjust our building or construction methodology. Then government also relax on some of the policies that will aid profit. To the developers, we are in to do business for profit, number one. But beyond profit, we are to do business to solve problems. And one such problem is to reduce the housing deficit. So for me, most governments can, because the frequent change in policy also impact on solving this problem of housing deficit. Right? Let's have some stability when it comes to this policy. And before this policy is being formed, let the major stakeholders be considered the impact on them, so that we can have the roundtable conversation, and then that will form the policy that will be win-win for everyone. We want to solve the problem of housing deficit, because government have no business in solving that problem. It is our responsibility. However, we must be given an enabling environment, friendly policy, embrace construction methodology, and probably embrace local content. I believe with this, to a large extent, we can address problems. Thank you so much.
Coming back to that, before we take a question from the let's ask, what benefits are there in joining the Australia? What are the benefits for both developers and also why should they join Australia?
Well, I won't use the word join. It is mandatory. It is law. You cannot do business in the real estate sector in Lagos State and not be registered. So it's not like you're joining an organization. It is law, it is mandatory. And in the coming months, there will be more enforcement on this law. Because there's so many things going on in the sector right now. It's the sector has become an all-commerce sector. If I have $1 billion I'm a developer, it's not supposed to be so. If I know MFK today, I can say, oh yeah, give me 2 houses, let me sell. There should be this should be regulated, because that's why we have so many issues. Some people have had to, intervene in some issues that ordinarily the developer should know better. For instance, building a house on a canal. I mean, and you now run to Lasora to say, oh, madam, my sister, of course, I'm human. I wouldn't want to invest in something and have it, demolished before my very eyes. But we as the people too, we should do better. So it will get to a stage whereby, and we're gradually going into that phase. If you are not recognized by the state, the way naive, naive is very powerful. You can't call yourself a quantity surveyor, if I'm right, and not be a member of naives. So it's getting to that stage that you cannot do business, maybe in Ogun State, but in Lagos State, it is mandatory. And there are levels to the registration. Someone that is a developer with a portfolio of maybe 100 billion will not register the same way a realtor that is just selling. And we also have grades for agents, we have for realtors, for developers. Even developers depends on the scale. So that we want to know you, we want to segment. If we're recommending you for JV, for instance, we need to know your capacity. We can't give a JV capacity of a 1,000 units estate to someone that has capacity of 200. And how do we know your capacity? Is by knowing you and being part of us. So I implore all of you as well. A lot of people that MFK has sent to me. Thank you very much, my sister. And I send them to the staff that is in charge of registration, and they are saying to them, let's just do what is right, so that when we want to fight, we have a legal ledge to fight. And when we want to also enjoy the benefits that the government is giving unto us, we should have a ledge as well to receive it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Can we clap to dance, please? So that's it from you, Mr. Mayor. I would like to say, what is Radon doing to regulate the developers' activities? What are the things Radon is doing or putting in place to regulate that developers are building quality products and delivering as at when due? That's the last question for you, sir.
Well, thank you so much. We recognize there's a major knowledge gap, particularly for our younger developers and maybe the existing one. So Radon is big on capacity building. And I was running to Sani and Emery in the University of Lagos to train. Please go ahead and clap. I think we want to clap. So the reason why Radon partner with University of Lagos to reduce that knowledge gap. You are doing that we all pay for our ignorance, and you can reduce what you pay by bridging the knowledge gap. So we have this program coming with you to educate the number of our developers, educate them about every essential thing they need to know, including the regulators. And we're doing this, and we're going to be having Security Exchange Commission partnering with us, FCC partnering with us, Nigerian Police Force partnering with us, among others. As a matter of fact, we have some commissioners from Lagos State Ministry as part of our facilitators. it's going to be a very big program. We believe that this will bridge the knowledge gap. Because oftentimes, the younger developer, even the existing one, probably don't know what to do. I want to educate them, and just like she said, that training is mandatory for every radar member. So that tomorrow, if anything funny happens, any sharp practice, we can say that can be a radar member. Because the radar member know what to do and how to deal with situations. That's part of what we are doing. And beyond that, beyond capacity building, which is training, being a radar member, you also have, we have come up with some fantastic stuff in a couple of days, where you have access to facility. When I mean facility, I'm talking about loan, and a single-digit loan, right, to our members, because we also have identified major challenge with developers is funding. We've got ideas. I was privileged to be with one of our members who built 287 units. I mean, 387 units. I was dedicated by the governor of Lagos State. I was there. I mean, just last week, I'm talking about Megamont, who's one of our proud members. Right? And these are part of things we are doing. I give it to Lagos for their joint venture and their PPP. And there's this misconception about Nigeria that they are all out there for revenue generation. Please, can I disabuse of mind? The reason why we have Lasera is to regulate real estate transaction in Lagos State. And we are proud to identify with them because Radar is also pushing for a bill where you can practice real estate all over Nigeria if you don't have a license. For some of us that practice abroad, you can't practice real estate in the United States without having a license. And that license is even subject to renewal on annual basis. Just Rwanda in Kigali, you can't practice real estate without having a license. Why should the biggest, the country with the biggest population not regulating the real estate, which is our next, asset beyond oil and gas? So for me, Radar is prepared for this, and we are positioned for this, and we encourage everyone, REITs inclusive, you should be part of that training. Madam Joyce Makeke wants to, I should have the privilege to do the same. All right, so we're having a program with Unilag that is compulsory, it's mandatory. Every one of us should be part of it. That program have about 17 facilitators. I'm talking about keynote facilitators. You can't go through that piece 8 days. When you come out of that certification program, your perspective will change. You will have better understanding on how to do your business. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much. To this, the panel session has come to an end. Let's have our panelists for being part of this wonderful panel. Thank you so much, Mrs. Aderemi. Thank you so much, Dr. Aderemi, for your time and your initiative. Please, can we all rise and clap for them for this session? We'll be able to entertain questions because of time. Thank you so much. We can send it to the group and we'll answer it. Session.